So we have about 3 minutes until we begin. For anybody that just logged on, go ahead and come into your yogi breathing. You can lay back on your mat or you can take child's pose. Full breath in through your nose. Full breath out through your nose. Option to bring, if you're on your back, you can bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly and just feel your belly expanding and falling with each breath. Rising on the inhale, falling on the exhale. Keep that breath moving. And try to bring yourself here to the present moment. Just coming onto your mat, forgetting about whatever happened prior to this moment during your day, forgetting about your to-do list for the rest of the day, just giving yourself this 45 minutes for true presence, for true awareness, for true self-care. Full breath in, full breath out. You have about a minute until we get started. So go ahead and use this next breath to set an intention or dedication for today's practice. It can be something very simple. It can be one word, presence, or it can be an area of your body you want to focus on. Or you can dedicate your practice to someone or something. Inhale. Exhale, seal your intention on your heart. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your 45-minute express yoga. Come up to the top of your mat. We're going to start standing. So feet about hip distance apart, palms spread wide and forward. Just take a moment to roll your shoulders up towards your ears and then roll them back and down, standing long and tall. We'll start with some dynamic movement. On an inhale, reach through fingers forward and up. Exhale, turn palms out nice and slow, press and resist. So recruiting some muscle here. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, turn palms out, press. On this inhale, reach forward and up, coming into core line strengthening. Exhale, you can interlace fingers and sway to the right, or you can bring your right hand to your right hip and sway to the right. So up to you, whatever's best on your shoulders. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sway through hips. Take one more inhale. Exhale, sway to the right, farthest point, and hold. Reach back up to center. Sway over to the left. So again, fingers interlaced or left hand to your left hip. Full inhale, reach. Full exhale, sway. Keep shoulders and hips squared towards the front of the room as you sway into hips. Take one more inhale. Exhale, sway to the left and pause. Reach both arms back up to center. Coming into a back bend. So I'm going to turn just so you can see my back. You can bring your hands behind your head, ground down through your feet and send your hips forward. Let your head get heavy in your hands. Or you can leave fingers interlaced, keep ears between biceps, and trace your fingertips back on the ceiling. So again, whatever works best for you. Sending hips forward, grounding down through feet, rising through your legs. If hands are behind your head, open up your heart and chest by pressing elbows out. Everyone take one more breath. Inhale. Finish your back bend on the exhale. Slowly come back up to center. Reach arms up. They don't have to be interlaced. Coming into a downhill skier, bend your knees, send your hips back. Elbows press into knees, palms press at heart center. Roll shoulders away from ears and pull your core in. Take a full breath in. Full breath out, sink hips a little lower. Bring your chest to your thighs for our first forward fold. So tap chest to thighs and then hide arms behind your legs. So elbows come behind your knee crease, fingertips facing down. Feet can be hip distance apart, or you can tap your big toes together. Just let your heels have a little space. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, just let your head hang. No tension in your neck or shoulders. Exhale, fold. Inhale, send breath to your back body, that deepest part of your lungs. Exhale. Take one more inhale in your forward fold. Maybe tip weight forward into the balls of your feet. Exhale, send hips high. Slowly release out of your forward fold to come back to your downhill skier just for a moment. Lengthen your spine. And then we'll come into lunge backs. So release your hands to the outsides of your feet and step your right foot back. So right heel pressing back. Left knee is stacked over your left ankle. Spine is nice and long. Now float your fingertips and try to float your chest off your thighs. Inhale, reach arms back. Exhale, reach forward and pause. Inhale, use arms and core to lift you up. Exhale, settle in. Now take a moment, just bring your hands nice and spread wide with your fingers. Bring your hands to your core. So your thumb almost on your last rib and then your pinky almost to your hip bone, and just pull your core in. So I want you to engage that whole area, and then you might feel it in your back too. Your low back may let up. Now reach arms up. Full inhale. Full exhale. Keep that strong core. We're gonna add a twist. So reaching your front arm, your right arm forward, your left arm back, and twisting from your ribs. So twisting to the left. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more round of breath in your twist. Inhale, come back to your balancing warrior. Exhale, reach up and back. Inhale, release hands down. Look forward, step forward, and just take a mini fold. Let your head hang. Come back to the downhill skier to neutralize your spine. Shoulders roll away from ears. Core is engaged, hands pressing together. Release hands to frame your feet and lunge your left foot back. Take that moment to set it up nice and strong. Float fingertips, float chest off thighs. Inhale, reach arms back. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, arms and core lift you up. Exhale, settle in. So again, bring your hands to your core. Pull it in. Core is nice and engaged. Belly button, try and go back towards your back. Now reach arms back up. Now leave that focus in your core. So I don't want you to use your arms necessarily to twist. I want you to twist from your core, from your obliques, using your back, and then reach arms out. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more breath in your twist. Press your back heel back, maybe sink a little lower. Inhale, come back to your balancing warrior. Sink a little deeper again on your exhale. Inhale, reach up, maybe slightly back. Exhale, release hands down. Look forward, step forward, and fold. From here, bend your knees and reach arms back. Reach forward and up into a chair pose, keeping hips low. Take a full round of breath. See if you can sink a little lower. Straighten legs, reach arms up. We're gonna take some balancing poses, starting with eagle. Right arm sweeps under your left at your elbows. Try to catch palms if you can. If you can't catch palms, just grab opposite shoulders. Pick your right leg up. I want you to exaggerate this and wrap it over your left. So thighs wrapping together. You can leave your big toe out for a kickstand. You can hide it behind your leg. You can place on a block if you have a block or a book or an Amazon box, whatever you have available. Lengthen through your upper body and sink down into your standing leg. Take one more round of breath in your eagle. Grow taller in your upper body. Sink your hips down. Inhale, unravel, spring out, reach up. You can tap palms. Exhale, left arm under right. Bend your knees. Pick your left leg up, exaggerate it. Wrap it over your right so that your thighs are squeezing. Again, big toe out, big toe setting on a block or a book, or you can wrap it around. Grow tall in your upper body. Feel that core engagement. Sink into your standing leg. Try to find that place where challenge and ease mix. So the pose feels challenging, but you're not causing any suffering in your body. That's not what yoga is about. It's about the opposite of suffering. So don't cause that. But find some ease there as well. Take one more breath. Inhale, unravel, spring out, reach up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Full breath in. Full breath out. Coming into tree pose, shift weight into your left foot. Lift your right knee up to 90. So knee coming right out from your hip crease. Now take your right knee out to the right. Press it into your thigh, calf, or ankle. Just avoid your knee joint. So I don't want any heels pressing on knees. No blown out knees today. You can bring hands to heart center. You can leave them right where they are too. Perfect option. Hands to heart center. You can interlace fingers and flip them up. You can just reach arms right up for your branches. Pick something in front of you, a spot on the wall or something outside that's not moving to focus on. In yoga, we call that our drishti point, our point of focus. Take one more breath, lift your heart and chest, find your full tree. Slowly walk yourself back in, knee at 90, arms by your sides. Release your right foot down. Shift weight right, left knee lifts, hip height. Take a breath to stand tall. And take your left knee out to the left. Press it into your thigh, calf, or ankle. Find your stability, that grounding sense in your right foot, your right leg. Then option to vary hands. See if you can grow a little taller in your tree. Or press your left knee out a little more. Just open up. Mindfully bring yourself back in. Left knee to 90. Arms by your sides. Release your left foot down. Take a breath. Shake out your feet or your ankles if you need to. And we'll come into dancer's pose. So left arm up, right arm reaches out to the side. Reach back to catch your right foot in your right hand. You want to catch the inside of your foot if you can. Find length through your left side by reaching up. Then kick back into your hand to find that C curve in your chest. Not in your chest, in your back. Option to reach forward, keeping heart and chest lifted. You have the option to hinge forward, finding a little more expression in the pose. Take one more breath in your dancers. Reach, kick. Now mindfully bring your knees back together, nice and controlled. Release your foot. Backstroke or windmill your arms, right arm reaching, left arm reaches back to catch your foot. Take that pause, that moment at the top to find your steady, stable base, your steady right leg, and then kick into your left hand. Again, option to hinge forward, option to reach forward. It's your dancer's pose. It's your mat. It's your yoga practice. So take what you need. One more breath. Slowly and mindfully come back in. Sometimes controlled movement is harder. Release your foot. Just take a couple back strokes or windmills of your arms. Arms by your sides. Full breath in. Full breath out. Come to the back of your mat. We're going to take a warrior 3. Arms reach up, interlace fingers, pointers extend. Left knee lifts to hip height. Now step out just about a foot or 2 and roll onto the ball of your right foot. Now keeping this line of energy from your fingertips to your right heel, hinge into your warrior 3 or T pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Release your shoulders, so roll them back. Now flex your back foot, toes down towards the floor, heels pressing back. Reach arms back, airplane arms. As arms float back, see if your right leg can float a little higher. Find a little lift in your heart and chest. Slowly hinging from your hips, bring your right knee forward to 90. Arms reach up, interlace fingers, pointers extend. Take that step with your right foot, roll onto the ball of your left, hinge into your warrior 3. Hands to heart center. Let your shoulders roll back. Reach arms back to the airplane. See if you can lift that left leg a little higher or flex your foot to make your left leg a little longer. Now mindfully hinge your left knee back to 90. We'll end as we began. Arms reach up, interlace fingers, pointers extend, grow really tall. Release your left foot down. Release arms by your sides. Big inhale, big exhale. Walk to the top of your mat facing the right. So you want the edge of your left foot kind of not on the front edge of your mat, but in line with it and facing to the side. Reach arms up and press palms, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Step out nice and wide and bring arms out to a T. Pigeon toe your feet slightly, so toes in more than your heels. Now take a moment to flip palms up, open up through your heart and chest. Now flip palms down, find a long spine. Hinge from your hips to come forward. You want to keep this long spine throughout this pose. Release hands down underneath your face or shoulders. And then pull your chest a little closer to your legs. So you can reach out for calves or ankles to do that and wrap around. If you do have a block, you can release hands on a block, either the short way or the long way. You can also grab your big toe with your pointer finger and middle finger. Keeping the long spine, pull yourself in. Send your tailbone high. Take one more breath. Maybe tip some weight into the balls of your feet. Release hands back underneath your face or shoulders. We're coming into a twist now. So starting on our right side, leave your left hand planted. Right hand can come to your hip. It can reach up from there. You can also just take it up and out and then reach up. You can take the half bind if that serves you. You can use your left hand and grab your calf or ankle. If you need even more of a twist from there, you can bend into your left knee. So opposite knee than you're grabbing. So left hand grabs right calf or ankle, bending into left knee. If hand on your hip is enough of a twist for you, if peeking past your shoulder is enough, then just stay there. If you ever feel pinchiness in your low back or something that doesn't feel good, always back off from a pose, especially in twists. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then slowly unravel, untwist, both hands under shoulders. Taking our twist to the left, right hand planted. Left arm out or up. You can start on your hip. You can take the half bind. Right hand can grab left calf or ankle. You can bend into your right knee. One more round of breath. Mindfully release yourself out. Bring your arms out to a T, or hands can come to your hips. Lift yourself back up to standing. Then turn your right toes back towards the back of your mat, coming into a warrior two. Bend your right knee. So knees stacked over your ankle and pressing out towards your pinky toe. You can point your knee if it does that. It might if you have a bony knee. From your warrior two, flip your palms up, thumbs up towards the ceiling. Come into a bent knee triangle. So reach back for the back of the room with your right hand. Then bring your right elbow to your knee, left arm reaches up, or you can bring your right arm to the inside of your leg. Keep that lift in your heart and chest. I always grip in my toes in this pose. So if you feel your toes gripping, I want you to lift all 10 toes off the floor and then release them back down. Let go of that tension. Take one more breath. Lift yourself back up to your warrior two. Take a pause. Flip your front palm, keep your knee where it is, reach up and back and revolve your warrior. So just finding space in our ribs. One more breath. Slowly come back to your warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Turn your toes in. We'll come into a standing frog. Arms come up shoulder height. So elbows and shoulders are in line. Fingers are spread wide. Turn your heels in towards your toes. Turn your heels in towards each other. Toes out. Now sink your hips down and send your knees out towards your toes. I didn't eat breakfast this morning. I think that's why my mind is a little off. Sink a little bit lower. I didn't eat lunch yet either. And then hinge forward. Elbows to the insides of your knees. Press your knees out. Feel that stretch. You can take a little sway side to side. Come back to center if you took a little sway. Keep your hips low, maybe sink them even lower. Now leave them there. Use your core to lift you back to your standing frog. Sink 2 more inches. Straighten legs. Reach arms back to a T. Left toes forward, right toes to the side. Coming back to our warrior two. Bend into your left knee this time. You can widen your base if you need to. Stack your knee over your ankle. Gaze up past your front fingertips. Pull your core in. So just like we did in our balancing warrior, you don't have to use your hands, but I want you to send your focus to your core and squeeze. Now bent knee triangle. Thumbs up, reach forward. Left elbow to your knee or left arm to the inside of your leg. Try to pull your right shoulder away from your ear. So again, long, strong spine. Lift those toes if they're gripping. If you're gripping in any other place in your body, just send breath to that place. Try to relax it. Come back up to your warrior two. Take a small pause. Flip your front palm, reach up and back, revolve. One more breath. Inhale, reach up and back. Hold on the exhale. Slowly come back to your warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Turn your toes in. Bring your hands to your hips. Just walk yourself into a 2 or 3 foot base. Coming into standing head to knee. So pivot on your heels to face the back of the room. So right toes back, left toes at about 10 or 11 o'clock. I'm gonna face forward just so you can see me. Reach arms up, press palms and lock thumbs. Find length. Curl your chin to your chest and then dome and round over your right leg. Again, if you have blocks, you can use them to frame your front foot. If you have books, whatever you need. Bend into your front knee and tap your forehead to your knee. So try to keep your left leg straight, just keeping a little micro bend in that knee to not hyperextend it, but bending into your right knee as much as you need to. Now try to square off your hips. So send your left hip
just slightly forward, and then send this right hip back. So our tendency is to really lean into this leg because we're bending this knee, but I want your hips in a plane, in a straight line. So left hip forward, right hip back slightly. Tap forehead to knee. Take one more breath. Reach arms forward, press palms, lock thumbs. Nice and slow, keeping ears between biceps, roll yourself back up. Then just pivot on your heels to face the front of the room. So left foot forward, right foot at about 2 or 3 o'clock. Reach up, curl chin to chest, dome and round over your left leg. When hands hit the mat or hit your blocks, bend into your left knee. Tap your forehead to your knee. Just like we did in our forward bend, try to send breath to your back body. Inhale nice and big. Exhale. Take one more breath. Tap your forehead to your knee. Finish the pose. Reach arms forward, press palms, lock thumbs. Keeping ears between biceps, nice and slow. Roll yourself back up to standing. When your gaze is forward, step your right foot forward to meet your left. Reach really tall. Release arms by your sides. Full breath in, full breath out. We're gonna lay down on our backs and come into single knee to chest. So if you need a quick drink, if you need a little Shavasana, just lay back. When you're ready, toes up towards the ceiling. Pull your right knee in. Press your left leg down into the mat. So squeezing your right knee in, pressing your left heel down, or you can float it just an inch. Take one more breath. Bend your left leg coming into figure 4. Foot on the floor, knee bent. Right ankle stacks onto your left knee. Lift your left leg up to 90. Reach through that space we just created to pull your left leg in. If your right elbow is at your right knee, you can use it to press your knee out. Just keep your shoulders down on the mat. If your elbow doesn't quite hit, but you want that extra stretch, you can leave your left hand behind your leg and just bring your right hand and gently press your knee out. You don't have to do anything with your knee though, or you can use your own strength from the inside of your knee and just press out. Take one more breath. Release your left foot to the floor. Send your right leg high. Interlace behind your knee or your calf. Leading with your heart, lift yourself up. Now, if you're able to, tap your forehead to your knee. Just don't force anything. So only if you can go there. Release all the way down. Arms by your sides. Right heel stays high. You're using muscle control. Lengthen and lower it nice and slow all the way down to your mat. Send your left leg to meet it. Take a full round of breath. Left knee comes in, single knee to chest. Right leg down, or you can hover your right heel. So creating compression in your left hip, you might feel some length in your right hip, especially if you have tight hip flexors. Take one more breath. Squeeze in, press down or press back through your heel. Figure 4, right foot to the floor, right knee bent. Left ankle on your right knee. Lift your right leg up to 90. Reach through, squeeze in. Again, you can use elbow, you can use hand, you can use your own strength to just try to press your left knee away from your chest as you pull your right leg towards your chest. One more breath. Right foot to the floor. Left leg high. Interlace behind knee, behind calf, leading with your heart. Lift yourself up. Tap forehead to knee if it's available. Release all the way down. Left heel high. Lengthen and lower. Through your heel, finding length. Send both legs long. Take a full round of breath. Pull both knees into your chest for double knee to chest. See if you can grab opposite elbows. So really wrapping yourself in. If you can't grab elbows, grab forearms or wrists. Give yourself a big squeeze, press your spine into the mat, tuck your chin slightly, keeping your head down. You can stay here and take a little rocker sway side to side, or you could bring your feet up towards the ceiling, take a happy baby, and do a little rock side to side. This should feel good on your low back. It's like a little self myofascial massage or release on your low back. Come back to the double knee to chest. Just give yourself a small squeeze. Send legs long, lengthening through your body, toes back towards the back of the room, fingers forward towards, past your head, just back. Lengthen through your side body. And then bring your arms by your sides. Roll onto your belly. We'll come into some prone back bends. So just roll to either side, starting with cobra. Big toes together behind you, tops of your feet pressing down. Hands slide back to about mid-rib, forehead is down and centered. Now lift your heart and chest. Press into your feet so much that your knees lift. Squeeze elbows up towards the ceiling, squeeze shoulder blades together behind you. Lift a little higher in your cobra. And then release yourself all the way down, forehead tabs. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. We're going to come up to a high plank. So we got to get that core, using that core engagement. Lift your head slightly. Pull your core in. Engage your glutes. Inhale. Exhale, hips up, down, dog. Press your heels down towards the floor. Press your upper body through your arms. You have the option to bend your knees, or you can sway your hips side to side, wagging your tail in your dog. Shift back to your high plank. Release knees down. We'll come into a half tortoise pose. So sit back on your heels. Reach arms up. Press palms and lock thumbs. Now hinging from your hips, and again, keeping that long spine, just come forward until your pinkies hit the mat. When your pinkies touch, send them even farther forward, finding length through your side body. Try to keep wrists and forearms lifted so your arms aren't relaxed, if they're working. They're pressing into your mat with your pinkies as your hips press back. Take one more breath to find length. Now, keeping your hips glued down to your heels, lift yourself back up to seated. Release arms by your sides. Come back to your high plank. Reach forward, press heels back. Inhale. Exhale, hips up, down, dog. Take 2 rounds of breath. Again, you can enjoy the stillness. You can find movement. Shift back to your high plank. Release knees down. We're going to come into a camel pose. So biggest back bend of our practice. Again, if you have a block, you can squeeze it in between your thighs. If you don't have a block, just make sure your knees are hip distance apart. Bring your hands to your low back. I want you to make your hands like a C first. So both hands like you're going to cup something. And then bring that C right above the back of your hip bone. Squeeze elbows, squeeze shoulder blades. Now send your hips forward just like we did in our back bend. Peek up at the ceiling. You can peek back at the back of the room. Keep your breath moving. It's harder to breathe in back bends. I can't talk and do a back bend, which is why I came up. Take one more breath in your camel. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Release arms by your sides. Send your hands forward, high plank. This time, release yourself all the way down. We're going to take a full locust. So arms by your sides. Palms facing down, but lifted. So like there's a tennis ball underneath your hands. Or sometimes I call it spider tip fingers. Now press the tops of your feet down like we did in our cobra. Lift your heart and chest. Keep feet pressing down. Lift your thumbs up. Squeeze shoulder blades again. Lift your heart and chest even higher. Now using your hips as an anchor, lift your legs up. So try to lift from both ends. Just floating up. Take one more breath. Lift. Release all the way down. Hands underneath shoulders. Come back to that high plank. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. Exhale, hips up, down dog. Bend your knees, wag your tail, maybe enjoy stillness. Shift back to your high plank. Release knees. Sit back on your heels for rabbit pose. So this time we're reaching back to cup our heels behind us. If you can't quite grab your heels yet, you'll be able to when we hinge forward. So just have your hands near your feet if you can't cup them yet. Curl your chin to your chest and start to dome forward. Bringing your forehead right in front of your knees. When your forehead grazes the mat, pull on your heels. So cup your heels and lift your hips up. Keep the tops of your feet pressing down, nice and firm. And then with straight arms, try to cup your heels even more. So taking this forward flexion in our spine, we just had that big back bend in camel. We're going to take our spine in the opposite direction in this rabbit. Straight arms, cup your heels, lift. Then slowly roll yourself back out, hips to heels first. Then roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head and neck are the last to lift. Send your hands forward, come back to that high plank. Take a full round of breath. Hips up, down, dog. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to the high plank. We're going to release all the way down again. You can release knees first, maybe come to a low push-up, add that core work, and we'll take a bow pulling. So you can take another full locust if you'd like, or you can bend your knees, reach back for the tops of your feet for bow pose. If you're taking bow, squeeze your knees in so they're not more than hip distance apart. Then kick back into your feet or pull on your ankles to lift up. Again, if this doesn't feel good for you, if you feel anything in your low back, come back to the full locust. If you're in bow, kick back, lift up. Again, hips are anchoring you. One more breath. Release all the way down. You can windshield wiper your legs side to side. You can take your gaze side to side, or you can make a pillow with your arms. Just rest your forehead on it. Release legs down. Hands underneath shoulders. Press back up. Just one more high plank. Hips up, down, dog. Bend your knees. Pedal out your feet. Look at your hands. Step, walk, or jump your feet to your hands and come all the way back onto your bum, staying sitting up, so just sitting back for seated head to knee. So heels go to the corners of your mat. Left foot into your right thigh. Arms reach up. Turn towards your right foot and come all the way down. Make that forehead to knee connection. So if you can't tap your forehead to your knee with your leg straight, I want you to bend your knee as much as you need to, dig your heel in, and make that forehead to knee connection. One more breath. Tap forehead to knee. Reach past your toes. Use arms and core to lift yourself back up. Release arms down. Bring the soles of your feet together for a butterfly pose. You can interlace hands around your feet. You can send your heels out a little farther forward or bring them closer in, whatever feels right for you. Sit up tall. Keeping your long spine hinged forward. When you can't keep that long spine anymore, go ahead and dome and round your spine, looking in at your belly button. If long spine felt better for you, you can always stay there. Slowly roll yourself up, back to seated. Right foot stays where it is, left heel goes long. Slide your right foot into your left thigh, back towards seated, head to knee. Reach arms up. Turn towards your left foot, come all the way down. Bend your knee as much as you need to make that forehead to knee connection. Reach past your toes. Lift yourself back to center. Release arms by your sides. Send both legs long, taking a seated spinal twist. Place your right foot on the outside of your left knee. Then bring your right hand behind your back. Reach your left arm up. Wrap it around your knee to twist, or you can bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee and just gently press it. So keeping the weight in your upper body, sitting tall in your spine, and then twisting from your ribs, from your mid-spine. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist, peek back. Unravel forward, sending both legs long. Hands by your hips for a staff pose. Press into your hands, fingertips forward. Just lift your hips up, just neutralizing our spine. Release hips down. Left foot placed to the outside of your right knee. Left arm comes behind you. Right arm reaches up, sit up tall. Wrap it around and twist. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, peek back. Unravel forward, sending both legs long. Take one more mini staff pose just to neutralize. Hands by your hips, press down, lift up, and release. Just one more forward bend, forward fold in our practice. Bend your knees slightly, dig your heels down into your mat. Now reach arms up. Using that hip hinge, come forward, grab the outsides of your feet, pull your heart and chest through. Now, if you don't have any low back issues, you can go ahead and dome and round your spine. If you have more flexibility in your legs, you can take your legs along, take a full forward fold. Start to roll yourself back up. Take a light reach for the ceiling, and then a light reach for your toes to roll all the way back, coming into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Let your palms face up, feet fall out. I'm going to bring you out of Shavasana with 3 rings of the bell. So fully relax, just lay back wherever you are. Close your eyes. Pull shoulders away from ears, not holding any tension anywhere in your body. Enjoy your final resting pose. Every great warrior must learn to endure and overcome life. Layla Gifty Akita. Just start to wiggle fingers and toes, bringing small movements back into your body. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug and thank yourself for taking this 45 minutes to come to yoga today, potentially over your lunch break, just taking this time for self-care. Roll onto your favorite side, so either side, your left or right. You can take that arm out behind you and use your arm as a pillow, falling into fetal position. Recall your intention or dedication from the beginning of our practice, and you have the option to set a new one right here to take you through the rest of your Thursday, maybe even through your Friday or your weekend. When you're ready, press into your hands. Come up to a seated position facing forward, keeping eyes closed or glancing down at the floor. Bring your hands to heart center. We'll recognize the peace and light within each and every one of us by bowing forward slightly and saying namaste or thank you. Thanks everyone so much for coming to Yoga Express over at lunch. I think I can unmute you. Well, I can't unmute you, but I can allow you to unmute yourself. So if anyone wants to say anything or ask.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Thanks. Good to see you. I have my laptop in front of me. That's why I keep looking to the side. I can see you guys on the side better. All right, I'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.